Ever wondered why some teachings of Jesus were kept out of the Bible? Welcome to a journey into the depths of hidden knowledge, a journey that takes us back to the year 1945, when a peasant in Nag Hammadi, Egypt, unearthed a jar containing 13 ancient manuscripts. These scrolls, known as the Qumran Cave Scrolls or the Dead Sea Scrolls, held secrets that could challenge the narrative presented in the Bible. One such secret was the Gospel of Thomas, a collection of Jesus' teachings that was later edited out by the First Council of Nicaea in AD 325. Why were these teachings erased, you might ask? It's a question that has puzzled scholars and seekers of truth for centuries. Today we'll explore the mysterious Gospel of Thomas and its secrets that could change our perception of human history. In 1945, a peasant in Nag Hammadi, Egypt, unearthed a jar containing 13 ancient manuscripts. It was an ordinary day with an extraordinary discovery that would echo through the corridors of history. These weren't just any old documents, they were the Qumran Cave Scrolls, also known as the Dead Sea Scrolls. These scrolls were like a time capsule, holding within them secrets that would challenge the narrative presented in the Bible. Imagine the scenes. A humble peasant going about his day stumbles upon a jar that had been hidden away for centuries. Inside he finds the scrolls, each one a treasure trove of wisdom and knowledge. Little did he know that his discovery would set the world of theology and history ablaze. Now, what's so special about these scrolls, you might ask? Well, they contained a variety of texts, including the Gospel of Thomas, which holds a different lens to view the teachings of Jesus. A lens that the First Council of Nicaea, convened by Emperor Constantine I in AD 325, decided was too radical, too subversive, too different. This council decided what stayed and what was removed from the New Testament, the Gospel of Thomas, the Book of Enoch, the Gospel of Mary, texts that didn't fit the mold of their narrative. Instead of embracing these diverse viewpoints, they were excluded, hidden away from the world. Fast forward to that fateful day in 1945, these hidden texts were brought to light. A light that illuminated a different path, a path that might lead us to a deeper understanding of Jesus' teachings. But why were these teachings ignored? Why were they erased from history? Could it be that they held knowledge too powerful for the masses? Or was it simply a matter of control, a need to shape the narrative in a particular direction? These scrolls held secrets that would challenge the narrative presented in the Bible. Secrets that might just change everything we thought we knew about the teachings of Jesus. So buckle up, folks. We're about to dive deep into the rabbit hole of forgotten history and hidden knowledge. When Emperor Constantine I convened the First Council of Nicaea, they meticulously decided what should stay and what should be removed from the New Testament. This council, comprised of religious scholars, was tasked with the monumental job of curating the narrative of Christianity, a religion that would shape civilizations for centuries to come. The Council of Nicaea is often seen as a turning point, the moment when the Christian faith was codified and set in stone. But what many don't realize is that this was also a moment of exclusion. Certain texts, considered too esoteric, too challenging, or too controversial, were left on the cutting room floor. Among these discarded texts were the Gospel of Thomas, the Book of Enoch, and the Gospel of Mary. Each of these documents held teachings that seemed to deviate from the established doctrine. The Gospel of Thomas, for example, is composed entirely of sayings attributed to Jesus, many of which are profoundly mystical and cryptic. The Book of Enoch tells tales of heavenly realms and fallen angels, while the Gospel of Mary presents a vision of Jesus that challenges the traditional patriarchal structure of the Church. Why were these texts omitted? Some say it was a matter of political convenience. Others suggest it was an attempt to unify the faith and prevent division. But could there be more to it? Could these texts have been deemed too powerful, too dangerous to the status quo? One thing is clear. The Council of Nicaea was not just defining the Christian faith, they were defining the boundaries of acceptable belief. They were deciding what truths were palatable and what truths were too potent for the masses. The Gospel of Thomas, the Book of Enoch, the Gospel of Mary, powerful texts that didn't align with the direction they wanted to pursue. And so, they were cast aside, relegated to the shadows of history. But their echoes can still be heard by those who dare to listen, those who are unafraid to question, and those who seek the hidden truths. Why were these Gospels ignored and erased? It's a question that has intrigued scholars and seekers of truth alike for centuries. The exclusion of these texts from the Bible wasn't a random act, but a calculated decision made by the First Council of Nicaea. But what were the reasons behind this decision? The most common theory suggests that these texts were deemed too complex for the average believer. It's often said that the council wanted to present a simplified, easily digestible version of Christianity that everyone could understand and follow. A more uniform, straightforward narrative would also help in maintaining control over the rapidly growing Christian community. However, there's another more intriguing theory that's been gaining traction. Could these texts, particularly the Gospel of Thomas, contain ancient, powerful knowledge that didn't fit the desired narrative? Knowledge that could potentially disrupt the council's control and the power dynamics within the church? The Gospel of Thomas, for instance, emphasizes direct, personal experience of the divine over institutionalized religion. It teaches that the kingdom of God is not a place to be reached in the afterlife, but a state of being that exists within each one of us here and now. This is a stark contrast to the mainstream Christian doctrine that emphasizes salvation through faith and the intercession of the church. Such teachings could have posed a significant threat to the church's authority. If people started believing that they could access the divine within themselves, without the need for priests or churches, it could have led to a decentralization of religious power. The church, as an institution, would lose its importance, and with it, its control over the masses. Therefore, it's plausible to think that the exclusion of these gospels was a strategic move to maintain power and control. By presenting a narrative that emphasized the church's role as the intermediary between God and man, the council ensured its own survival and dominance. So, could these texts contain ancient, powerful knowledge that didn't fit the desired narrative? Perhaps, but until we can fully decipher and understand these ancient texts, the truth remains shrouded in mystery. Gnostics, followers of these teachings, were persecuted and killed. It's a chilling reality that these seekers of spiritual wisdom faced such dire consequences. The Gnostics, a diverse group of early Christian sects, dared to question the mainstream doctrines. They held a belief in personal experiential knowledge, or gnosis, as the path to spiritual enlightenment. The Gnostics saw the material world not as God's creation, but as the work of a lesser deity, a demiurge. They believed that within each person was a divine spark, a piece of God trapped in the physical body. The aim was to liberate this divine essence through gnosis, a profound self-knowledge, and return it to the divine source. Their teachings were deeply mystical, emphasizing the inner path to God rather than external rituals and institutions. They interpreted the teachings of Jesus in a radically different way, focusing on his sayings that suggested a path to inner enlightenment. In the eyes of the Orthodox Church, these beliefs were heretical, a direct challenge to the authority of the Church and the literal interpretation of the Scriptures. The Gnostics were branded as heretics, their texts destroyed and their followers persecuted. The Gospel of Thomas and other Gnostic texts were buried, hidden away, in hopes of preserving their wisdom for future generations. Despite this, the Gnostics left a profound impact on the early Christian world. Their emphasis on personal spiritual experience and inner revelation challenged the rigid hierarchies and dogmas of the Church. They dared to suggest that the divine could be found within, that each person could directly experience God without the need for priests or rituals. Today we uncover a lesser-known version of Jesus' teachings, exploring the Gospel of Thomas. What secrets does it hold? What wisdom can we glean from its cryptic sayings? Could it offer a fresh perspective on the path to spiritual enlightenment? Let's dive deeper into the forbidden teachings of Jesus and uncover the hidden secrets of the Gnostics. Jesus said, "The kingdom is inside of you and it is outside of you." It's a powerful statement, isn't it? This is a direct quote from the Gospel of Thomas, a text that was deemed too radical, too revolutionary to be included in the traditional Bible. But what does it mean? And why was it so threatening to the early church? To understand this, let's delve deeper into the teachings of the Gospel of Thomas. This gospel places great emphasis on the inner kingdom, the spiritual realm that exists within each of us. It suggests that the divine is not some distant, unreachable entity, but rather it's inside us, as much a part of us as our own hearts and minds. This concept is quite different from the traditional teachings of Christianity, which often emphasize the separation between humans and the divine. But in the Gospel of Thomas, Jesus teaches that we are not separate from God at all. Instead, we are intimately connected to the divine, and this connection is something that we can explore and deepen through introspection and self-discovery. Another crucial teaching in the Gospel of Thomas is the idea of seeking. He who seeks, let him not cease seeking until he finds, and when he finds, he will be troubled, and he will reign over the all. This passage suggests that the pursuit of knowledge and understanding is not a smooth, straightforward journey. It can be challenging, even troubling at times. But it's through this process of seeking and finding that we gain a greater understanding of ourselves and the world around us. And what about reigning over the all? It seems to imply a kind of mastery or control, doesn't it? But it's not about dominance or superiority. Instead, it's about the power of self-awareness, of understanding our own thoughts, feelings, and actions. It's about being present, being conscious, and making mindful decisions. There are no levels in this teaching, no inferiors or superiors. Everyone has the potential to reign over the all, to unlock the power of their own inner kingdom. It's a message of equality, of empowerment, of spiritual independence. This is the power of knowing oneself. It's about understanding that we are not separate from the divine, but rather, we are intimately connected to it. This knowledge allows us to navigate the world with greater clarity, compassion, and wisdom. So why were these teachings excluded from the Bible? Perhaps because they challenge the established norms, because they invite us to question, to explore, to seek. But isn't that what true learning and growth are all about? No levels, no inferiors or superiors. A seeker, a mindful decision maker in the present, reigns over all they consciously explore. This is the power of knowing oneself. These are the teachings of the Gospel of Thomas, teachings that invite us to embark on a journey of self-discovery and spiritual growth, a journey that begins and ends within us. In the depths of these teachings lies a profound truth. Religion, from religare, meaning the return to oneself. This powerful realization has been our guiding light as we navigated the enigmatic territory of the Gospel of Thomas, a gospel that was once buried, lost to the sands of time, and intentionally removed from the Bible. This journey began with the discovery of the scrolls in the Qumran caves, a find that opened a new window into the past. The scrolls, as we've learned, were not mere historical artifacts, but vessels carrying potent teachings that were deemed too powerful, too radical, too challenging to the established order of things by the First Council of Nicaea. The council, in their quest for control and uniformity, chose to excise these texts from the New Testament. We delved into theories that suggested these Gospels were erased for simplicity's sake, while others postulated that these texts contain knowledge that could disrupt the narrative the council wanted to propagate. This led us to the Gnostics, followers of these teachings, who were persecuted for daring to explore these forbidden realms of wisdom. The Gospel of Thomas, as we've discovered, offers us a different perspective on Jesus' teachings. It presents a version of Jesus that encourages self-exploration and introspection. The kingdom of God, according to this gospel, is not a far-off paradise, but a state of being that exists within and around us. It's a profound, empowering message that challenges the conventional hierarchical structures and invites us to seek, to question, to discover, and to understand our true nature. He who seeks, let him not cease seeking until he finds, and when he finds he will be troubled, and he will reign over the all. These words, as we've learned, speak of a journey towards self-realization, a journey that begins with seeking and culminates in understanding. It's a journey that transcends the physical plane and ventures into the realms of the spiritual and the metaphysical. As we draw this exploration to a close, let us remember that the journey doesn't end here. The teachings of the Gospel of Thomas, hidden and forbidden as they were, serve as a reminder of our potential to seek out the truth, to question the established narratives, and to uncover the mysteries of our existence. They remind us that we are not mere spectators in this grand play of existence, but active participants with the power to shape our understanding of the world. In the quest for knowledge, we are all explorers, embarking on a journey that is as much about understanding the world around us as it is about understanding ourselves. As we decipher the beginning, we unveil our own endings, blessed with knowledge that transcends death.